Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It's Joe and it's time for Puck It with Joe. I'm excited. We got 9 games on the ice today. We're going to break all of these down. I can't talk. There was almost like a country accent that just tried to come out there. I'm not sure what was going on. Looking at yesterday's games, we had a lot of success actually with the player props there. I got so many notes here since yesterday, you guys. Jack Eichel, the only one in those 3 best bets for those player props we weren't able to hit. He didn't get that anytime goal. We had Tag Thompson get that anytime goal. And there was one other. Oh, Matthew Tkachuk came out. Beautiful goal to start off that game. Now, the Florida Panthers weren't able to pull it off. Really upset me there. St. Louis Blues weren't able to do it either. But it's a new day. And let's make some freaking money. I'm excited for this. Remember, everyone over here on TikTok, come over to YouTube if you want to interact and join. And if you want me looking at you, I'm looking at my screen over here, talking to you guys on TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter. I appreciate you guys wherever you are watching from. My phone is just sitting right there for TikTok. Let's just try to get that out of the YouTube screen. Okay, you guys. We've got, like I said, 9 games on the board. Seeing everyone jumping in on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Let's crush it today. We're going to start off with the San Jose Sharks taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Now, this one kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern today, you guys. I got a total. It opened at 6.5. Now up to, it opened at 6. Now up to 6.5. The Sharks coming in here at -111, -108 for the Montreal Canadiens. I like the Sharks here. I think the Sharks have the ability to pull off the win. They've been so strong in Montreal. They haven't lost any of the last 6 games in Montreal either. Road team has had huge advantage. Now the Montreal Canadiens are coming off a nice win. They got a shootout win. I don't know why I always say shutout when I mean to say shootout. Shootout win over the Blackhawks. I think they're going to be tired legs in this one. I'm going to roll with the Sharks. I like what I've seen out of this team. Now, when we look at the Sharks here at -111, there is so much value. I do love it. But what if I told you I'm going to take them on the puck line at -1.5 at +200? It's where I'm going with this Sharks team today. I really think they have the ability to pull off this win. These teams are very similar. The last time these two teams did play, Montreal was able to get a 4-0 shutout win. I just think Montreal is in a terrible scheduling situation. And I thought Edmonton was last night. They were able to pull off the win, but it's the same sort of situation here. They've had 2 road games. They're now back home, but they have a huge road trip on deck. Now, their road trip on deck, they will face the Calgary Flames, the Edmonton Oilers, the Vancouver Canucks, the Seattle Kraken. This isn't a road trip they're looking forward to. I really do think this is a letdown spot for Montreal in a big way. I think the Sharks are circling and they're going to get a win, and not only a win, but a big win. So when we look at West Coast road teams versus East Coast on that puck line in the last 30 days, they've gone 27-21, which is covering what? That's 60. What is 27 divided by 21? 57. It's like 50 or 21 divided by 27. You guys know I can talk today, right? 77% on that puck line. So I really do think they're in for a big day here against a Montreal Canadiens team. We can't back Montreal. They got Jake Allen expected. This defense is allowing teams to score and score at will. They're really similar teams, though. The road team just having such an advantage and the Sharks just playing so strongly against the Montreal Canadiens. So you guys, give me the Sharks on the money line. Also, give me the Sharks on the puck line at -1.5 at +200 because you know I'm chasing that plus money. And then when I look at this total, these two teams have trended nicely to that under. I'm not sure where this one is going to go. This is either a 3-0 win for the Sharks, or this one just squeaks over that total. So I'm going to stay off the total for sure. Just look at your comments here, you guys. I see everyone jumping in. I appreciate you guys jumping in here. I will get to those. Okay, so the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. Now, this is one of the craziest matchups of the night. Boston, we know how phenomenal they have been. They've won their last 21 games as favorites. Now, looking at their record, they have not lost this season at home. They're 12-0 this season at home. So phenomenally strong. It's really hard for me to step in front of this team here at home. They're minus 176 on that money line. So if you like them and you don't think this would go to overtime, you're better off taking them in regulation. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning are plus 146, and the total is sitting solid at 6. Andrei Vasilevskiy expected in goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's been strong this season. He's got a 2.94 goals against average, and Allmark, absolutely outstanding for the Boston Bruins. He's got a 2 goals against average. When we look at these teams offensively, while we have such solid goaltending, we got to look at what these teams are doing offensively. The Tampa Bay Lightning, 6th overall in the league for goals at 3.57. And the Boston Bruins, 1st in the league at 4 goals per game. Both of these teams getting the shots, especially the Boston Bruins, averaging 34.7 shots on goal per game. Now, defensively, the Boston Bruins absolutely have the edge. We know this team has always been known for their strong defense and goaltending. This year, just really stepping up offensively. They're allowing only 2.24 goals per game, which is 2nd overall in the league, and 30 shots on goal. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning have been solid defensively, but are allowing over that 3. It's sitting at 3.19 at the moment and 31.2 shots on goal. When I look at this matchup, both of these teams do have a really high shooting percentage. Both do have a really strong power play, but Boston has the stronger penalty kill. So if Tampa gets these penalties, Boston gets these penalties, Boston is more likely to secure that penalty kill than the Tampa Bay Lightning are. Now, Tampa did play last night, so I could see tired legs here, but this is going to be a hard one for the Boston Bruins. I'm not going to lie. We know how strong they are at home, but this game feels like one of those games where we could see Boston go down. Now, the last time these two teams did play, it was just on November 21st. Boston got a 5-3 win. The Lightning have struggled in the last 4 meetings versus the Boston Bruins. They've gone 0-4 in those last 4 meetings. But when we look at them rolling in to Boston, Tampa is one of those teams that has beat Boston at home. They're 7-1 in the last 8 meetings in Boston. The road team is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. So, you guys, while I don't want to step in front of Boston, I'm not getting on a side here. That plus money does look nice with Tampa, but we look at Boston. They've won their last 21 games as a favorite. Okay, I'm not stepping in front of that. I'm going to look at this total here. Now, this total is sitting solid at 6. I've got to take it over. I know we have strong goaltending and we have strong defenses, especially out of Boston. But my thing here is we look at these offenses. These offenses are lighting up the net. I have to ride with the over 6, especially sitting at this number of 6. We know these teams have trended to the under. They've had hard physical games, but I think with the tired legs of Tampa off of last night, we see their defense giving up a little bit more. We see this one go over the total of 6. I can't wait for this game, you guys. It's going to be so good. Best of luck to all of you guys out there. I really appreciate each and every one of you for jumping in every day here on A Puck It with Joe. We're going to get some player props for sure, you guys. When I look at this, Brayden Point, really interesting. He scored the first 2 goals in each of the Lightning's last 2 games. So if you're looking at Brayden Point for the Tampa Bay Lightning for that anytime goal, I think there's value. If you're looking for him as the first goal scorer, it's like plus 13 to plus 1,400, depending on your book. So that is definitely something to check out. I like him for that anytime goal. I'd look at his shots on goal as well. Even though Boston is able to hold opponents to 30 shots on goal per game, I do think Brayden Point gets those shots tonight. Manny Betts, I'm so glad to see you went 2-0 yesterday. That is great. You're taking the Kraken on the money line. I don't blame you. This Kraken team just playing phenomenally strong. Thank you, Mr. Expo, for being here with us today. Okay, You guys, let's jump into the next game. Again, we have 9 games on the board. We got to get through these games in a reasonable fashion, at least, with the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, this is at 7 p.m. Eastern. The Carolina Hurricanes coming in here minus 106, minus 114 for the Penguins, and this total sitting solid at 6. Now, we know the Canes are rolling in off that win over the Calgary Flames. They got a 3-2 win. That was on Saturday. The Pittsburgh Penguins off a loss to the Leafs. That was a 4-1. We faded the Penguins here because of a scheduling situation and how strong the the Toronto Maple Leafs have played the Pittsburgh Penguins. So that was a one where we were riding the opposite side. The Penguins come in here expected to start Jarry. We know Tristan Jarry has been so strong for them. He's got a 2.9 goals against average. But when I look at this game, I know the Canes had a pretty long losing streak. I believe it was 5 games that they were losing, able to turn that back around. But they played all of those teams hard. The majority of those losses were in overtime. We're getting them here at minus 106. I think there's so much value in the Carolina Hurricanes. I love the opportunities they're creating with their shots on goal. They're averaging that 35.2 shots on goal per game. Now, their average goals per game is that little bit lower. So I'm looking for them to really work and dig hard to find the back of Tristan Jarry's net. The defense of the Penguins are allowing 33.6 shots on goal and a 3.18 goals per game. So I do think the Canes will have an advantage here, especially with their defense. Their defense is limiting opponents to only 25.9 shots on goal. Now, that is a number 1 overall in the league and only 2.77 goals per game. So I'm looking for the Carolina Hurricanes to come out here strong. They have dominated the last 7 meetings, winning 5 of those. The favorite is 14-5, which puts us on the Penguins, but I'm not going there. I think the Penguins, what we look at is them at home. They've really been struggling at home in their last 5 home games. They've only won 1 of those, and they're coming in on 2 days rest. The Penguins on rest are not good. On 2 days rest, they've only won 1 of their last 5 games. So between their home ice and how poorly they've played on home ice and between this rest, I've got to fade the Penguins, especially coming in as the favorite here. I think the Carolina Hurricanes with this value is the way to go. So I'm going to take that. And then I'm going to look at this game and look at this total. The total is still sitting at 6. I'm going to hit at the under 6. I think this is a 3-2 style game. I see it being a lower scoring one. These teams trend so nicely versus each other to that under that I have to ride with the under 6 in this. I think the Canes win this either 3-1 or 3-2 in this matchup. Okay, let's just look at some of your comments. Free picks. I'm so glad you made it here on time. We got people riding with the Colorado Avalanche. Reimer in net for the San Jose Sharks. Take it easy. I'm not sure if Reimer is going to be, James Reimer, going to be in net for the San Jose Sharks. Last time I saw it was the guy's name who I cannot say. I'm not even going to try to say it right now, you guys. I am tongue-tied completely today. It starts with a K. That's all I got for you guys today. It's one of those days for sure. It's great to see everyone here. Who invited the Habs fans? I don't know who invites Habs fans. That's for sure. They never get invited to the party, do they? Okay. Let's look at the next game on the board. We have the New York Islanders taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, the Islanders are coming in here at minus 200 on that money line. It looks like everyone and their grandmother is backing the Islanders here. The Philadelphia Flyers at plus 164. Total has dropped from 6 down to 5.5. Sorokin expected for the Islanders. We all love Sorokin. He's got a 2.19 goals against average. And Carter Hart has been absolutely phenomenal for the Flyers. He's been one of those goalies that I didn't expect to play as well as he's played this season. So hats off to him. He's got a 2.85 goals against average. the Philadelphia Flyers just aren't converting these goals. They're not getting these opportunities, the shots on goal. They're only averaging 28.7 shots on goal per game. And they're worst overall in the league at converting these goals. They've only got 2.41 goals on average this season, where the New York Islanders have been a surprise offensively. We know the Islanders are another one of those teams that does play such a solid defense. You look at them as a defensive first team, and they still are. They're only allowing that 2.57 goals per game and 33 shots on goal. But offensively, this team, it surprises me that they are this season above that 3 goals per game, averaging that 3.35 and 31 shots on goal. Now, these teams just play. Like, if you're having deja vu at the moment about our conversation, it's because they did just play. They played on Saturday, and the New York Islanders got a 5-2 win. I don't know if they're going to be able to produce, if I can talk. See, I told you, tongue-tied today. Produce the same thing. I'm going to ride on the Flyers, but I don't love the value here. If I was going to take the Flyers, I would have to take them here on that puck line at +1.5 to keep it tight. But I was getting minus 160. So, but they're plus 164. Let me just double check that. Okay, so yeah, it's still plus 160 or minus 168 for the +1.5 on the Flyers. So you guys know I can't get there with that. That is way too highly juiced, especially a Flyers team that has lost their last 10 games. So for me, if I'm going to take the Flyers, I'm going to sprinkle on that money line for them to be able to pull off the win. Now, they have covered the puck line as an underdog versus the New York Islanders at home in their last 4 games. So they have been strong in this situation on that puck line. But again, you can't take those odds. And we also look at the home underdogs coming off a loss on that puck line in the last 30 days, have gone 21-10, which is 67.75%. So I'm confident in the Flyers here on that puck line for parlay reasons at +1.5 at minus 160, but for straight up reasons, I just can't get there. And I think this is just such a tight game that could go either way. I would still be looking at that under 5.5, even though this number is low. But you guys know I'm like so sick of betting those under 5.5s because we can lose that in the first period. And we've seen it happening. The Islanders have won their last 4 games. I think this is a bad spot for them, but I don't know how much I want to chance it on this one. So this is a game that I don't absolutely love. The under is hit in 5 of the last 7 games in Philadelphia. Okay, let's look. Tampa money line is juicy value. Absolutely. Okay, you guys, let's look at the next game here on the board. The Anaheim Ducks taking on the Nashville Predators. Now the Ducks coming in here at +190. Are the Ducks quacking today, you guys, against the Nashville Predators? Nashville Predators minus 235. My whole thing here is I would love to take the Ducks on the puck line, and I think I will. This is one of those situations the Ducks haven't been covering this puck line. They've let me down in a couple of situations. They are 4-8 on the road on that puck line, 8-14 on the puck line overall. But the Nashville Predators, I can't trust on the puck line at all either. 6-14 straight up on that puck line for the season, and 4-7 on the puck line at home. Both these teams coming in off losses here. The Ducks need to stay out of the penalty box. If the Ducks can stay out of this penalty box, they will keep this game tight. This is where I'm looking at this one. The Ducks have struggled in Nashville. They've been absolutely terrible. They've only won 1 of the last 8 meetings in Nashville. But the Predators have failed to cover that puck line as their last 5 games as a favorite. They're not blowing teams out of the water as a favorite. So I have to rely on the Ducks to keep this one tight. At +1.5 for the Anaheim Ducks here, you're getting it at minus 120. This is another one where we look at the road underdog after not playing on the previous day. On that puck line in the last 30 days, that road underdog has gone 69-34, which is just shy of 67%. So strong trends to why to take the Ducks here on that puck line at +1.5. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie. the Preds could come out and completely destroy them here. I'm guessing their water main issues have been fixed now that this game is back here playing. If you're wondering what happened to the games on Friday and Saturday in Nashville, it was a water main break there. So I'm going to take a chance on the Anaheim Ducks. I don't think they're quacking, though. I can't sprinkle on that money line here, but I will put some money on that puck line at +1.5. Okay, you guys, I'm just trying to get caught up with all of your comments here. I really appreciate you guys for being in. Jari has been so solid this year. I completely agree. Average age is 35. You know, there are some players, even though their age is really getting up with the Penguins, we got to look at this team. You know, they are so phenomenally strong. We got Sidney Crosby in there, and we can't doubt their ability, even though they are getting old. Okay, Canadiens. Tough tongue-tied Tuesday. Try saying that 5 times, Matt. That definitely is. And Nashville, Rick, you're right. Way too juicy on that money line. That juice is just gross. Kev, welcome to the show. World Cup, England 3-0 over Wales. Taco Tuesday. Okay, you guys, let's get on to the next game. Everyone, again, on TikTok, I see your comments coming in. Join me over on YouTube to make sure you can interact with the show. Next game, we got the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Winnipeg Jets. We've got the Avs rolling in here at -137, +114 for the Winnipeg Jets. Now, Connor Hellebuck has been phenomenal for the Winnipeg Jets. He's got a 2.43 goals against average. The Jets are coming in off a big win over the Blackhawks. It was a 7-2 win. I was riding the under in that game, and that under would have hit if the Jets didn't score 7 goals on their own. I was loving the fact that the Jets were playing so solid versus the Blackhawks because I had the Jets, but hating the fact that they kept scoring goal after goal after goal because I was riding that under. They went over that total of 6 all by themselves. Now, they have Connor Hellebuck expected in here. If he plays, this is going to be a little bit of a harder game for the Colorado Avalanche. I do think, though, that the Colorado Avalanche get this win. I know the Jets have been strong at home, going 7-2 at home this season, but I'm not buying into it. I really think Colorado is the better team here. Alexander Georgiev expected in goal for them. He's got a 2.9 or 2.29 goals against average. Now, the Avs have the best power play in the league this season, and their defense is playing phenomenally strong, holding opponents to only 2.47 goals per game, which is 3rd overall in the league. The Jets do have a strong penalty kill, though. It is stronger than the Avs, but this team, while they do have a good defense, 7th overall at 2.65, I just don't see them offensively being able to play as strong as Colorado. Both of these teams, though, getting the shots on goal, both over 30, with the Winnipeg Jets at 30.7 and the Colorado Avalanche at 32.8. When I look at these two teams, when we look at the stats matched up against each other, Colorado has struggled in Winnipeg. They've gone 8-3 in the last 11 in Winnipeg. But when we look at those last 10 meetings, they have won 70%, 7 of those last 10 meetings. And Winnipeg is coming off a big road trip. So I think scheduling wise, this will be a hard one for Winnipeg to be able to get the win. I got to ride with this, I think, the more solid team here. When we look at these records are so similar. We got the Colorado Avalanche coming in 12-6-1 on the season, 7-3 on the road, and the Winnipeg Jets 13-6-1 and 7-2 at home. I think Colorado takes this one. You guys just let me do one thing here in the chat. And yeah, I've got to ride with Colorado. And I do think when we look at this one, looking at this total, I just can't get there. This total sitting solid at 6. This will all come down to this goaltending. These two teams do trend to that over. I have more faith in the defense and goaltending of the Colorado Avalanche, but I love what we've seen out of Connor Hellebuck. I could see this end up being a 1-0 game. I really could, but I also could see these goalies letting some in. So I'm going to stay off this total. If I was to look at a total at all, which team I have more faith in. I would look at a team total for the Colorado Avalanche, but again, you've got to think that they're going to get 4 goals on Connor Hellebuyck. Unless Connor Hellebuyck has a really off night, it's hard to get there. It's juiced so highly to that under, and to hit the Avs team total over, you're getting beautiful plus money at plus 136. But Connor Hellebuyck has a 2.43 goals against average, so I'm not going to hit that total. Rick, I like where you're going with Florida and Canada, Calgary. We're going to get to that in just a second. You guys, it's Tuesday. Can you tell? I tell you, I'm having one of those days. Let's talk about the next game, you guys. You were asking about the Florida Panthers taking on the Calgary Flames. Now, the Florida Panthers played last night. If you guys watched that game versus Edmonton, they should have got that win. The problem is they let it go. Edmonton had another comeback win. They looked dead in the water. I was watching this game with a friend who was, I think, 20 seconds behind on her stream. Edmonton fan, of course. And Edmonton scored. It was like 4 seconds left to take that game to overtime. The Florida Panthers should have had that game all day. Now, Bobrovsky wasn't in net last night. We had Spencer Knight in net. He definitely had one of the best games I've seen out of Spencer Knight last night. Edmonton just racked up the shots on goal, were able to get a win in OT. So Bobrovsky is confirmed for tonight against the Calgary Flames. Now, Bobrovsky comes in here with a 3.62 goals against average. Dan Vladar coming in here for the Calgary Flames. He's confirmed as well with a 2.82. We're going to look at some goalie props in this one. I haven't looked them up yet. We'll look in a couple minutes for this. I'm really looking at this one. And when we look at these teams with the battle, going between these two Alberta teams, it is very hard to win both of them. I think the Florida Panthers put up such a fight last night. I think we're going to see a little bit of tired legs. Calgary comes in more rested. Now they are off that loss to the Canes. This is their first game home of a 6-game road trip too. So that does concern me. I think Calgary is in a bad scheduling spot, and I think the Florida Panthers are in a bad spot after playing Edmonton so hard last night. So I think that kind of negates each other out a little bit. Now, Calgary is juiced here. They're minus 160. So I can't bet that. And I also can't bet them in regulation, because I really do think that this is one of those games that could go to overtime, 3-3 to overtime. I do like that over 6.5 in this one. And this is exactly where I'm going with this too, Aiden. I think you have to take Matthew Tkachuk here for this anytime goal. He has been making us so much money, and now he's facing his old team. He thrives against his old team. We saw it come in late the last time these two teams played. We saw it come in late. He made us sweat that goal, but he did get that goal versus the Calgary Flames, and I do see it. I would look, if we could only bet how long Matthew Tkachuk spends in the penalty box or how many fights he starts, I would love to bet that. I'm going to be side betting that with my friends, because there is no love between these two, Matthew Tkachuk and the Calgary Flames. So I'm looking for this one to be a strong game out of both of these teams. I think the over 6.5 is the best way to go. I kind of love that plus money on the Florida Panthers here. Just looking at, the really evenly matched teams. Calgary offensively has been struggling as of late. And we know the Florida Panthers have been getting these goals, and they've been getting the shots on goal. So I'm going to take Matthew Tkachuk for the anytime goal. I also would look at Blake Coleman for an anytime goal of the Calgary Flames. He has been playing so phenomenally strong, especially against the Florida Panthers. I think he comes in here and gets one as well. Now, the Panthers have gone 1-4 in the last 5 meetings versus the Calgary Flames, and the underdog 7-3 in those last 10. So I could see a reason to take Florida here. I think if you want to take anything, take this one maybe to go to overtime, take it over that 6.5. And we're going to prop bet this one at the end of the show. The over is really strong between these two, going 7-1 in the last 8 meetings in Calgary. Calgary has to get their feet under them offensively. We know they've been struggling, but I do think that they show it here in this one tonight. Now, you guys, we've got the next game on the board, and I just saw people talking about it on TikTok. Washington Capitals tonight over the Vancouver Canucks. Give me the Washington Capitals all day at plus 100. This game is at 10 o'clock Eastern tonight. The Vancouver Canucks here at home at minus 120. Demko expected. We know the defense and the goaltending of the Vancouver Canucks is absolutely miserable this season. Demko allowing an average of 3.8 goals per game. And the defense allowing 3.73 and 33.4. Shots on goal. They've got the worst penalty kill overall in the league. Now, Washington has not been getting these goals. They've been held to under those 3 goals per game at 2.7 on average. They just won this matchup back on October 17th. So what? That's a month and a half basically ago. We're coming to the end of November. It's crazy here. It was a 6-4 win for the Capitals. We've got strong trends towards the underdog, winning 4 of the last 5 meetings. Now, the Washington Capitals are off a loss to the New Jersey Devils. I am so glad I didn't step in front of the Devils. All the odds were pointing towards the Washington Capitals in that last matchup. We didn't fall for it. This is game 2 for the Washington Capitals of a road trip, and they lost that one 5-1 versus the Devils. I think they come out with some grit here in this game versus the Vancouver Canucks. Now, the Vancouver Canucks have been on the road and they won all 3 of those road games. So really impressive. And we know the Vancouver Canucks have had a nice home present. They've played well at home, but they're still only 3-4 at home this season. I think it's a good spot to fade the Vancouver Canucks here. Give me the Washington Capitals all day. Now, the Capitals also come in rested. They're 8-3 in their last 11 games, playing on 2 days rest. And the Canucks, they just had 3 games on the road. And when we look at them in a 3-4 situation, they've gone 1-4 in their last 5 in a 3-4 day situation. So I think there's going to be tired legs, and especially coming back home, this team, I think, will struggle. So give me the Washington Capitals here. I love that people are taking the Canucks at minus 1.5. I'm sorry, but I hope you get it. Like, I really do. I love when I see you guys like putting your comments in here. I'm rooting for all of us to get the win. Unfortunately, I'm on the opposite side of this one, but hats off to you if you get it. That will be some beautiful, beautiful plus money if they are able to pull it off. And yes, the Capitals have not been strong on the road. We look at the Capitals on the road this season. They are 2-7 on the road, but Kemper is expected in goal. I really like what we've seen out of Kemper. We have to look at the difference between the goaltending for both of these goalies. If you're in a schoolyard ice hockey game, I guess, who are you taking? Kemper or Demko? I'm taking Kemper all day long. If you're taking offenses, the Vancouver Canucks do have the stronger offense. Their power play is stronger. Their shooting percentage is stronger. But I can't trust their defense. So while I do think that the Vancouver Canucks put up a really good fight, I think their defense lets them down again. And because of that, I would be looking at the over. The over is 5-0 in the last 5 meetings in Vancouver, 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. Overall, that total sitting at 6.5. We haven't had totals like this for a long time. Yeah, the old men are nice and rested in Washington. So, and we know Washington's able to get these block shots on goal too. They're not as strong as we've seen them in prior years, but they are coming out nice and strong too. Okay, guys, the last game on the board, the one everyone's been talking about. The Seattle Kraken taking on the LA Kings. Oh my God. This game has me wanting to pull out my hair. We have 2 teams in the Pacific here. The Seattle Kraken sitting 2nd overall in the Pacific. Who would have seen this coming? They made so many great adjustments. This is a young, hungry team versus LA Kings sitting 3rd in the Pacific. If you would have told me Edmonton and Calgary wouldn't be in the 2nd and 3rd spot right now, I would have laughed at you. These 2 teams are playing so solid, only behind Vegas. Vegas, no one expected to do this well either this season. Now, Vegas is healthy this season, so this is a difference with that team. We had coaching changes and everything like that. And Gil, I'm with you. Release the freaking Kraken. The Kraken have been playing so strong. I'm not stepping in front of this team here today. I love the LA Kings. Don't get me wrong. When I look at the teams that I really like in the league, it's my Calgary Flames. And then I love the Vegas Golden Knights. And I love the LA Kings. I don't know why I like all the teams in the Pacific, but I do. I hate the Edmonton Oilers. We know that. And I'm growing a love for the Seattle Kraken team. I love what they're doing here. When they drafted this team, it definitely was for long-term success. And that's what we're starting to see out of them, especially with the changes they made in the offseason. Now, Jonathan Quick expected for the LA Kings. He's got a 3.07 goals against average. Martin Jones for the Seattle Kraken, he's got a 2.58. When I look at the Seattle Kraken, offensively and defensively, they will dominate here on the ice. They're averaging 3.75 goals per game, which is 6th overall in the league, and 29.1 shots on goal. Now, they have the best shooting percentage in the league, but they do not have a strong face-off. They're not winning those face-off battles. So it will come down to, those face-off battles. I really do think. I think this is a tight game, but in this tight game at plus 106, for the Seattle Kraken, I hope I'm not falling into a public love for the Seattle Kraken here, because we are seeing a lot of the money publicly come in for the Seattle Kraken. Now, I just can't step in front of them. 7-1 on the road this season. We look at the LA Kings, they're 6-4-1 at home. The Kings, 2-7 in their last 9 versus the Pacific, 1-4 in their last 5 overall. Now, these two teams just did play. It was November 19th. It was a Saturday. Yeah, it was a 3-2 win for the Seattle Kraken. They were able to get the win there. They have won their last 5 games overall. They're 4-0 in their last 4 versus the Western Conference. They're 5-0 in their last 5 versus the Pacific. This team is absolutely rolling, and they're coming in on 1 day's rest, in which they're 6-1 in their last 7 games playing on 1 day's rest. I can't not take them. I think they are a strong team, and they have every ability to win. And the value at plus 106 for getting a little bit of plus money, I just can't. I can't get there. I can't get with the LA Kings, even though I have more love for this team. Now, when I look at this total, I've got to hit the under 6.5. Strong trends to the under between these two. I know the Seattle Kraken and the LA Kings have every opportunity to make this one go over, but I think with this being a Pacific battle here, we're going to see a really hard-hitting game and these two teams going at it. So give me the under 6. The Kings are 6-2 in their last 8 versus the Western Conference to that under. The Kraken 8-2 in their last 10 to the under. The Kraken, playing on that 1 day's rest, have gone 6-1 in their last 7 to that under. You guys, it's going to be a crazy day on the ice. Let's look at those goalie props for Calgary tonight versus the Florida Panthers. I can't wait, because I want to bet these, see what they're coming in at. Okay, let's look. Bobrovsky is coming in at 30.5, juiced to the under, and Dan the man is coming in at 29.5, juiced to the over. Okay, this is really interesting. Okay, the Florida Panthers, we know, are getting more shots on goal at the moment at 39.6. Now, Calgary has really dropped in their shots on goal. We saw them earlier in the season, putting up 40-something shots on goal per game in some of those matches. They're now only averaging 34.8. And when we look at the Florida Panthers, they're allowing that 32.1. I do think Bobrovsky will save over 30.5. I really do see Calgary coming with more fire. They have to step up offensively. This team has to get rolling. So I'm going to take Bobrovsky over 30.5 save shots on goal. That is coming in at just minus 110 there. It was minus 1, I think minus 116 I saw for the under. Yeah, minus 116 for the under, if you like that under, but I do like it over. I really do think Calgary comes out firing tonight, and we know Bobrovsky can play a solid game. When we look at Dan Vladar of the Calgary Flames, His number is coming in at 29.5. Now, Calgary is allowing 28.5 shots on goal. They are really limiting their opponents. They're fourth overall in the league. But the Florida Panthers have been killing it with these shots on goal. They are averaging 39.6 shots on goal. I think this one falls right in the middle there, where the Florida Panthers are coming in right around that 35. So I'm going to still take Dan the Man over 29.5 save shots on goal. While I do think this is a high scoring one, I think both of these offenses completely come out so solid. So give me the over on both of those. It's going to be a good game. Let's do a quick recap, you guys. I apologize to anyone that I missed your comments in YouTube today. It seems like a lot of comments have been coming in hard and fast, and I was trying to get you guys the information as quick as possible. U.S. was just eliminated from the World Cup. Oh, that is heartbreaking there for sure. Why do I hate Edmonton? Because I'm from Calgary. It's just like meant to be in our blood. It's meant to be in our blood. We are going to do a recap there, you guys. I really don't hate Edmonton. They actually make us some good money. So I just say that. At the end of the day, I was watching the Edmonton Oilers versus the Florida Panthers last night. That goal by Draisaitl in overtime was absolutely beautiful. It's a team I love to hate. It's just like the Raiders in football. I'm a Chargers fan. I love to hate the Raiders. I hate them, but I cheer for them. So, U.S. isn't eliminated. Okay, that is good. I'm glad. Okay, recap. Let's go. The San Jose Sharks and the Montreal Canadiens. We're going to ride with the San Jose Sharks. Oh my God, I hate saying it. On the money line at -111. We're also going to take them on the puck line at -1.5 at +200. I can't look past that beautiful plus money here with the San Jose Sharks. I think they absolutely have a phenomenal game against the Montreal Canadiens. Okay. Next game on the board. Oh, did I have any props in that one? No props in that one. Then the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. Like I said, you guys, I'm not stepping in front of the Boston Bruins here today. I could see the Tampa Bay Lightning, though, breaking this winning streak for the Boston Bruins. They are 12-0 at home this season. Game number 13. Not a lucky number here. We've seen the Lightning struggle against the Boston Bruins. So I'm not touching a side. I'm going to take Braden Point for an anytime goal here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. You could look at him for that first goal at +13 to +1400. He has scored the first goal in each of his last 2 games. So that is a nice trend. I got to ride the over 6 in this one. I think this is a higher scoring game, even though these two teams have trended to the under. Okay, the next game on the board, the Carolina Hurricanes and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Give me the value of the Carolina Hurricanes here over the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm going to take Brent Burns for an anytime goal today. He's scored a goal in his last 4 games against the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're getting him up +510. So much value here. And I'm going to take the under 6 in this game. I think between these two teams, this is a 3-1 a win for the Canes or a 3-2 win for the Canes. The New York Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers. You guys, if I'm going to do anything, maybe a sprinkle on the Flyers here to break this losing streak. I love the Islanders and everything we've seen out of them. I just don't know if I can trust them here in this matchup. These two teams just did play Saturday. This could be early revenge. I like what we've seen out of the goaltending. If I was going to take a side, you guys know I hate betting this under 5.5 because every time I do, it absolutely screws me up. Flies over. The Flyers on that puck line at +1.5 at -160 has value only for parlay reasons, not for straight up betting. The next game on the board, the Anaheim Ducks and the Nashville Predators. I got to ride with the Ducks at +1.5 on that puck line at -120. They have to stay out of the penalty box for this one to hit. If they don't stay out of the penalty box, they are absolutely screwed in this game. And the Nashville Predators will capitalize on this. The next game on the board, we have the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Winnipeg Jets. I got to roll with the Avs here. I think they're the better team on both sides of the puck, especially defensively, and I think they're going to get the job done. Now, I don't love the total in this one, you guys. I could see this one going either way. We've got really strong goaltending, and I think it will come down to Connor Hellebuck. And if he has a terrible game against the Colorado Avalanche, they'll go over their team total of 3.5. But he hasn't been having terrible games, so I'm not getting there. The Florida Panthers and the Calgary Flames. I don't trust Calgary in regulation, too highly juiced at -160. I could see this one going to overtime in this battle. I think it's going to be a complete battle. Calgary home, though, from a road trip, and the Florida Panthers off a hard game versus the Edmonton Oilers, in which they lost in a game that they had in the bag. Like, let's be honest. If you watched that game, you would have turned off the TV as an Edmonton fan with 1 minute left. Edmonton found a way to pull that off, get a goal with 4 seconds left, and win it quickly with Draisaitl in overtime. So I'm looking at the goalie props in this. I'm going to take Bobrovsky and Dan Vladar both over their save shots on goal. Bobrovsky coming in at 30.5 to the overs -110. Dan the man coming in at 29.5, hitting it to the over. What was that? -1. It was a little juiced on Dan over. Sorry, I just brought up his alternative. I don't want his alternative. That was -118 to the over for Dan the man. And I like the over 6.5 for the game. Like I said, this one could go to OT 3-3 apiece. I think Blake Coleman here for the Calgary Flames to get that anytime goal is phenomenal value at +350. And then I also like Matthew Tkachuk. Of course, we got to take Matthew Tkachuk to come out so strong versus the Calgary Flames. Calgary is going to hit him hard, you guys. We don't like Matthew Tkachuk as Calgary Flame fans. He decided to leave after Johnny Gaudreau. So it's a hard one here. And the team that's still the original team from last year remembers that. So it's going to be a hard-hitting one here for sure. Look for those penalties to come in. Between the Washington Capitals and the Vancouver Canucks, you guys, I got to ride with the Capitals here. This screams value all day. The Capitals have played so strong versus the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver Canucks just home from a road trip. And if I had to take a side or a total, I would lean on that over in this one. And the Seattle Kraken, like you guys keep saying, release the Kraken. I got to ride with the Kraken with the value here. They're playing the better hockey right now. I love the LA Kings, and I hate stepping in front of them. I love to see them do well. I love Jonathan Quick, but I think the Kraken are playing too phenomenally strong. This one's going to be a lower scoring one, though, you guys. I love the under 6. Wow, that was the recap. I would take Nick Suzuki for that anytime goal, Rick, if you're looking for that one. Okay. That definitely, I like him for the anytime goal as well. I don't hate Edmonton. I keep seeing that. I feel bad every time I say I hate Edmonton, you guys. I do, but I don't. Let's take the Sharks. Let's build the parlay. I'm going to take the Sharks at -111 here on the money line. You guys know, though, I like them on that puck line. I'm going to take the over between Boston and Tampa. And then I'm going to take the Canes here on the money line. I'm going to take the Flyers +1.5 for parlay reasons. Again, it's too juiced for regular betting at -160. I'm going to take the Anaheim Ducks here +1.5 for the parlay. I'm going to take the Colorado Avalanche on the money line. I'm going to take the over between Calgary and Florida. Panthers and Calgary over 6.5. I'm going to take the Capitals here on the money line. And I'm going to take the Seattle Kraken. So you guys, I don't have the odds for this right now, but for parlay reasons, that is what I'm doing. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here. Rick, I don't know what that no is. You just said no. I have no clue what you're saying no to. I say no a lot too. You guys have a great day. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me here on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. It's going to be a great day. 50-minute show. I only screwed up like what, 20 words today? You're saying going against the Kraken? Unreal. I'm not going against the Kraken. I said release the Kraken. I'm taking the Kraken. I said the Kraken. oh, the New Jersey Sharks. You guys, it's the Montreal Canadiens. They win in certain situations. They lose in certain situations. Montreal just not in a good scheduling spot. Why I'm fading Montreal here is they had 2 road games. Now they're at home. They've got a big road trip on deck, like a really big one. And they just got the Sharks rolling in. Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, then the Kraken. No one wants to do that road trip. It's a terrible road trip. The Buffalo Sabres are like one of the best teams on that road trip so far this season. It's going to be a hard one for the Montreal Canadiens. There's no love out here for them. They're going to struggle. So I'm fading them here this last home game off that road trip as well. You guys, thank you. Everyone on YouTube, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. You guys have a fantastic day. TikTok, I'll be right with you.